Confidence in trading is one of the most misunderstood concepts in the entire financial world. Most traders imagine confidence as the bold swagger of someone who always knows the right move, the certainty of calling the exact market top or bottom, or the bravado of believing they can never lose. But this is not confidence. That is ego, and ego is fragile. It cracks the moment the market proves you wrong, and the market always will. Real confidence is something entirely different. It is not loud, not arrogant, not dependent on being right. Real confidence is quiet, steady, and unshakable. It is the ability to trust your plan even when your emotions are screaming the opposite. It is the foundation upon which all consistent success in trading is built. Think back to the very first time you placed a live trade. Your palms probably sweated, your heart raced, and every price tick felt like a personal victory or defeat. In that moment, you were not confident. You were reactive. Your emotions controlled you because you had no foundation to stand on. Without that foundation, every trade feels like a gamble. And this is where most traders live for years, caught between hope and fear, swinging like a pendulum. They place trades without truly believing in their system. They hesitate when opportunity comes. They second-guess their exits. They close too early because fear whispers in their ear, or they hold too long because greed seduces them. This is not a lack of skill. It is a lack of confidence. And without confidence, even the best strategy is worthless. Confidence is not built in the heat of the trade. It is built before the trade. It comes from preparation, testing, and internalizing your edge until it becomes part of you. Imagine a pilot flying through a violent storm. They do not panic at every flash of lightning because they trust their training, their instruments, and their procedures. They have rehearsed for this exact moment long before they are in the sky. A trader must approach the market in the same way. You cannot wait until you are already in a trade to decide whether you trust your system. That decision must be made long before you risk real money. Yet here lies the problem. Most traders never truly test their systems. They borrow strategies from online forums, watch a few YouTube videos, and then jump into the market with live capital. When the inevitable losing streak comes, their fragile belief shatters. Of course it does. There was never real confidence to begin with, only borrowed hope. This misunderstanding creates a cycle of endless frustration. Traders think, if I can just find the perfect strategy, then I'll finally feel confident. But there is no perfect strategy. There are only systems with probabilities, rules, and risk management. Real confidence comes from doing the work, from backtesting your system across hundreds of trades and different market conditions until you can see the statistical edge with your own eyes. From forward testing in a demo account, watching how the system behaves in real time, and experiencing both wins and losses without money on the line. Only then does confidence begin to grow, because confidence is not blind faith. It is informed trust. But even with data, something deeper is required. You must separate confidence from outcome. This is where many traders fall apart. They believe confidence means winning all the time. So when they lose, their confidence vanishes. But that is not confidence. That is dependency. If your belief in your plan only exists when you're winning, then you don't really believe in it. You're simply addicted to results. True confidence means placing a trade, losing money, and still knowing you made the right decision because you followed your rules. It means being able to shrug off a loss, not because you enjoy losing, but because you understand it is part of the bigger picture. Professional traders lose all the time. The difference is that their confidence is not tied to a single trade. It is tied to the process. They know that if they execute their edge consistently, the probabilities will take care of the rest. The hardest part of trading is not finding a system that works. It is detaching your confidence from short-term outcomes. We live in a world that teaches us to measure everything by immediate results. In school, your grade is the outcome. In sports, the score is the outcome. In trading, this mindset is deadly because no single outcome matters. Only the collection of outcomes matters. Yet most traders cannot escape this trap. They risk money, and when the trade goes red, they panic. Every tick feels like a personal attack. Every red candle feels like a direct insult. How do you remain confident when your hard-earned cash is vanishing in front of your eyes? The answer lies in shifting your focus from money to execution. If you measure success in dollars, you will never find stability. If you measure success in discipline, in following your plan, respecting your stop-loss, sticking to your risk rules, then confidence becomes unshakable. Why? Because those things are within your control. Here is a truth that most traders don't want to hear. The problem is not your charts, not your indicators, not your system. The problem is your psychology. Fear, greed, hesitation, doubt. These silent enemies sabotage more traders than any market condition ever could. And the root of all of them is fragile confidence. Consider the story of two traders. Both begin with the same account size and the same strategy. Trader A focuses on profits. Every win feels euphoric. Every loss feels devastating. His confidence rises and falls with his balance. Trader B focuses on process. He knows his system has a 50% win rate with a 2.1 reward-to-risk ratio. He accepts that half his trades will lose, but he also knows that if he follows his plan consistently, the math will work out. Trader B loses just as often as Trader A, but his confidence never wavers because it is rooted in trust, not emotion. Confidence is not just about knowledge. It is about repetition. Every time you follow your plan, even on a losing trade, you reinforce your trust. Every time you abandon your plan, you weaken it. Confidence is like a muscle. The more you exercise it through disciplined execution, the stronger it becomes. But if you betray your rules repeatedly, your confidence will wither. This is why discipline and confidence are inseparable. Without discipline, confidence is just wishful thinking. There is another powerful but overlooked aspect of confidence: self-talk. The way you speak to yourself during trading shapes your identity as a trader. If after every loss you tell yourself, "I'm terrible at this, I'll never succeed," you are destroying your belief system from the inside out. But if after every loss you tell yourself, "I followed my plan, I did my job," the outcome doesn't matter. You are strengthening your foundation. Confidence is not just built on data and discipline. It is built on the dialogue you carry within your mind. And then there is patience. Confidence does not appear overnight. You cannot expect to fully believe in your system after a handful of trades. It takes months, sometimes years, to internalize trust at the deepest level. The more time you spend with your system, the more familiar it becomes. The more second nature it feels. Confidence grows like roots beneath a tree, slowly, invisibly but powerfully. But most traders make a fatal mistake. They chase confidence in the wrong way. They try to force it by winning more trades, by avoiding losses, by searching endlessly for the perfect strategy. But perfection does not exist. Losses are inevitable. Drawdowns are inevitable. Uncertainty is inevitable. The sooner you accept that, the sooner confidence begins to grow, because confidence is not about eliminating uncertainty. It is about standing firm inside it. Confidence in trading is not loud. It is not flashy. It does not brag. It is the quiet voice that says, "I know my edge. I know my rules. I know my probabilities, and I will follow them regardless of the outcome." Until now, we've exposed the myths of confidence and the fragility of ego. But knowledge without action changes nothing. Many traders understand these lessons on an intellectual level, yet they keep repeating the same emotional mistakes because they never implement practical solutions. So let's get tactical. Here are 4 clear, actionable steps, plus a bonus, that you can start applying today to transform confidence from a fragile illusion into an unshakable reality. Step 1. Build evidence through backtesting and journaling. Confidence is not a motivational speech you give yourself. It is evidence-based trust. Imagine a lawyer standing in court with no documents, no witnesses, no proof, only hope. That is how most traders approach the market. They hope their system works, but they've never gathered real evidence. Start by backtesting your strategy across at least 100 trades in different market conditions. Bullish runs, bearish collapses, sideways consolidations, high volatility spikes. Track every metric: win rate, drawdowns, average risk to reward, expectancy. When you finish, you should not just believe your edge exists, you should see it in numbers. Then move to forward testing in a demo account. Journal every trade as if real money were on the line. Date, time, setup, reason for entry, risk, exit, and emotional state. Over time, this journal becomes your personal book of evidence. When doubt whispers your system doesn't work, you can silence it with pages of data. Evidence destroys doubt. Hope creates fragility. Step 2, reprogram your mind with pattern. Interrupts. Fear and greed hijack traders in seconds. They are like thieves breaking into your house. Fast, unexpected, destructive. If you don't have a defense system, they'll rob you blind. Pattern interrupts are your alarm system. They create just enough pause to stop automatic emotional reactions. For example, when you feel panic rising, pause, lean back in your chair, and take 3 slow, deep breaths before touching the mouse. When greed tempts you to move your stop loss, grab a pen and write down what you're thinking. I want to move the stop because I'm scared of losing. By putting thoughts into words, you weaken their emotional power. When hesitation freezes you, set a rule, count down from 5, and then act according to your plan. No negotiation. These small rituals retrain your brain. Over time, your default response in stressful moments shifts from emotional impulse to disciplined execution. Confidence does not mean you stop feeling fear or greed. It means you stop letting them control you. Step 3, shift your focus from money to execution. This is the turning point. If you measure success by dollars, your confidence will rise and fall like the market itself. One green candle and you feel invincible. One red candle and you feel worthless. This roller coaster is why most traders never achieve consistency. Instead, redefine success. Ask after every trade, did I follow my rules? Did I respect my stop? Did I avoid overtrading? If the answer is yes, then the trade was a victory, even if it ended in a loss. This mindset rewires your confidence because discipline is always under your control, while profits are not. Think of an athlete. They don't measure success by whether they scored a goal in practice. They measure it by whether they executed the drill correctly. Day after day, they repeat fundamentals until performance becomes automatic. You must adopt the same approach in trading. Measure discipline, not dollars. Step 4, strengthen confidence through reps. Confidence is not built in theory. It is built in repetition. Every time you follow your plan despite discomfort, you perform a rep that strengthens your identity as a confident trader. Every time you betray your rules, you weaken it. Picture a weightlifter. The muscles don't grow from lifting once. They grow from thousands of repetitions, from consistency over months and years. Confidence is the same. The more disciplined trades you execute, the deeper your trust becomes. This is why real confidence is not built in winning moments. Anyone can feel strong when the market hands them profits. True confidence is forged in losing moments. When the candle goes against you, fear screams at you to exit early, and you choose discipline anyway. Those moments are the bricks that build the fortress of your confidence. Bonus step: redefine losses as proof of discipline. Here's a radical shift most traders never make. Celebrate disciplined losses. Why? Because a loss taken according to your plan is not failure. It is success. It proves you respected your rules. It proves you trusted your edge. Professional traders know this. That's why they can lose 40% of their trades and still sleep peacefully at night. In your journal, create a new category: planned losses. Each time you take one, mark it as a win for discipline. Over time, this reframing changes your relationship with losing. Losses no longer destroy your confidence. They reinforce it. None of these steps are glamorous. They won't give you the adrenaline rush of gambling on a lucky trade. But they will build something far more valuable: consistency. And consistency is the only path to freedom. If you practice these steps daily, confidence will stop being something you chase after every winning trade. It will become something you live, unshakable, steady, and rooted in discipline. At this point, you've seen the truth. Confidence is not ego, not bravado, not the illusion of being right all the time. It is something deeper. It is trust. Trust in yourself, trust in your rules, trust in your preparation. But confidence is not a destination you reach once and then keep forever. It is a practice, built day by day, trade by trade, decision by decision. Imagine again the pilot flying through turbulence. The passengers may grip their seats in fear, but the pilot remains calm because they know they've trained for this. They've practiced the procedures 1,000 times. They trust their instruments. They trust themselves. That is what makes them steady while others panic. That is what makes them professional. This is how a trader must operate. The market will always be uncertain. The news will always be chaotic. Other traders will always panic. But if you've built your foundation correctly, through preparation, journaling, discipline, and repetition, then you don't need to control the market. You only need to control yourself. And here's the paradox most traders never understand. You don't wait until you feel confident to follow your rules. You follow your rules first, and confidence grows as a result. Most get this backwards. They think, once I feel confident, then I'll trade with discipline. But the truth is the opposite. Discipline comes first. Confidence is the reward. Over time, this practice transforms you. Slowly, you stop being tossed around by every losing streak or every winning run. You stop chasing the perfect strategy, the holy grail that doesn't exist. You stop sabotaging yourself with fear, greed, and doubt. Instead, you become steady, calm, focused, and unshakable. Losses no longer destroy your belief. Wins no longer make you reckless. You begin to approach every trade with the same calm focus, regardless of whether it ends in green or red. And that is the mark of a professional trader. So let me ask you, who are you when you step into the market? Are you the trader who panics at the first sign of red? The trader who moves their stop because of fear or exits too soon because of doubt? Or are you the trader who says with quiet conviction, I know my plan, I trust my plan, and I will execute it no matter what? The market will test you. It will tempt you with false breakouts. It will punish you with drawdowns. It will seduce you with greed and crush you with fear. But if your confidence is built on preparation, discipline, and evidence, nothing can shake it. That is the difference between a gambler and a professional. Between those who quit and those who endure, confidence will always be tested. Doubt will always whisper. Fear will always knock at your door. But the choice is always yours. Will you let them in or will you stand firm? The traders who succeed are not the ones who feel no fear. They are the ones who act with discipline despite fear. That is unshakable confidence. Once you reach that point, trading stops feeling like a chaotic battlefield. It becomes something else entirely. It becomes an expression of who you are becoming. Each trade becomes less about money and more about identity. Because confidence is not just about trusting your system. It's about trusting yourself. Think of the professional poker player. They don't jump out of their chair after every winning hand, nor do they collapse after a loss. They know the game is long, the edge plays out over many hands, not just one. The same is true for the trader. Confidence comes from zooming out, from seeing the long game, from knowing that one trade does not define you, but discipline does. This identity shift is the moment everything changes. You stop saying, I hope this works, and start saying, I know I can execute my plan. You stop defining yourself by your last trade and start defining yourself by your consistency. You stop chasing confidence and start living it. And here lies the real freedom of trading. It's not just about financial independence. It's about mental independence. It's about the quiet power of knowing that win or lose, you can trust yourself to do the right thing. That kind of confidence doesn't just make you a better trader. It makes you a stronger human being, because if you can master yourself in the chaos of the market, you can master yourself anywhere, in business, in relationships, in life. The discipline that builds confidence in trading is the same discipline that builds resilience in every challenge you face. So as you move forward, remember, confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you build, brick by brick, rep by rep, choice by choice. The market doesn't care if you feel confident, but it will reward the trader who has built unshakable trust in their process. And if this video gave you clarity, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with another trader who needs to hear this truth. Because just like discipline, confidence multiplies when it's shared. And if you're serious about mastering your psychology, check the pinned comment and description. I've prepared resources that will help you go even deeper into discipline, emotional control, and building confidence that lasts. Subscribe now, because this journey isn't over. The next video will take these lessons even further, showing you exactly how to apply them in real-world trading challenges. Remember, confidence is not found, it is built. And today, you've taken another step toward becoming the kind of trader who cannot be shaken.